Hello and welcome to this training with Di. How are you today? Today, I want to teach you really how to radically deal with difficult family members. It kind of amused me when I first started thinking about doing this training because let's face it, we do experience difficulties with our family members. However much we love them, let's be honest, they can be a complete pain in the butt sometimes and can trigger us and upset us and make us react. So I really want to really talk to you about what's going on, first of all, and then give you some really kind of key tips to help you navigate difficult family members so you aren't drawn into the chaos. So when I'm talking about family members, I'm talking about, your spouse, your mother-in-law, your difficult teenager, your 3-year-old. They all have the capacity, I guess, to trigger you and take you into being a person that you don't really like very much and being reactive and, angry or upset or hurt or sad or whatever those negative emotions are when you feel, stressed and upset by somebody else. So in this training video, I just wanted to really show you how easy it is to stay present and stay conscious in the moment so you're not drawn in and can really maintain your power, keep to where you want to be so you're not drawn into their craziness. So the thing is, I guess, because we live with these people, we're exposed to these people all the time, they are often, our biggest triggers. And when you can see your triggers as your teachers, there is gratitude in there. And we're all different. We're all very different people. We all have a different, unique perspective and unique perception of life. We all have a different experience of life. And I think knowing that really, really helps because we have a bit of awareness then of what's going on. But, if these people are kind of in your energy field all the time, we are energetically connected to each other. We are pure energy. And so really want to show you that it's possible to kind of protect yourself energetically from crazy family members. And also, we're not taught to have necessarily clear boundaries, especially where family is concerned. I mean, it's not necessarily something, certainly not from my generation, that we were taught to have boundaries, what is or isn't acceptable, stand up for our wants and needs, to say, what it is we need or what's not okay with us. We're not really taught this, so we don't believe it's it's factored in. But then, the problem with that is then you've always got people sort of coming into your sort of whether physically, energetically, mentally, or emotionally, into your field, into your space, upsetting your vibe. So I really want to teach you how to not react so you can respond in a moment, okay? And when you're staying present, maybe it's your 3-year-old having a massive tantrum, maybe it's your teenager being super rude or shouting at you, maybe it's your husband coming home from work and, I don't know, taking out his rubbish of the day on you. It might be your sister bringing you down with all her stuff that's going on in her family, or it might be your mother-in-law or your own mother, you feeling judged by her. But whatever it is, I want to teach you how to stay present, because once you know this, it's going to radically change your life. And often the normal kind of response, dare I say response, is we react. We're triggered, we feel a physiological response, we feel a negative emotion, which we then, we either suppress it because we don't believe that we're allowed to show it, or we explode like a pressure cooker. First things first, all emotions are valid, okay? I want to teach you how to deal with these in a more succinct fashion, let's put it that way, so you are maintaining your cool and retaining your power instead of being this crazy, angry, hot mess. But all it is energy. So kind of awareness of that is really key as well. It's just energy, and that when you're angry, you're like you're about to explode, or maybe when you're hurt, you might be really, really upset, you might be really, really sad. So it's just about awareness of it and forgiving yourself. I think sort of when we have reacted, believe me, one of my shadows was actually anger. And I mean, for someone that's been on a spiritual path, that's enough to sort of send me into a bit of a tailspin, knowing that I had this kind of shadow self, which was anger. So I judged it in other people, but also I felt it very easy to get angry, and I didn't like it about myself. But knowing how to stay present in a conscious capacity is incredibly, incredibly powerful. So let's start at the beginning. When someone triggers you, when someone upsets you, your job is to stay present, okay? Your job is not to give in to the chaos, the nonsense, all the stuff that's going on around you, but to actually stay present in the moment. So this is where you need radical self-awareness. Now, when you're triggered, your subconscious kicks in and you are going to react according to old, out-of-date, unconscious thought patterns that are like deeply grooved in your brain as to how you respond, okay? Because you've gone into the fight or flight response, you've gone into stress response. So before that happens, you kind of have to interject, because believe it or not, you do actually have a choice. You're not a slave to these unconscious thought processes, but you have to act fast before you kind of go down the vortex. And listen, you're going to fall on your face over and over and over again. Believe me, I did and still do. Obviously less and less, but as you start practicing, it's about interjecting in that moment, because your subconscious works at lightning speed, and you have to kind of stop it before you go down into that sort of that vortex, and you're kind of in that pit where you don't feel that you do have a choice. But you do have a choice, okay? And your life is the outcome of all the choices you've ever made. So you have the choice. You can either give in, be triggered, react according, to that sort of fight or flight response, or you have the choice not to be drawn in, which is where you need to pour in that self-awareness, and you need to emotionally and mentally remove yourself. So in that moment, I call it ATIS. A for awareness. Ooh, hold on a minute, I've been triggered. T, triggered. Okay, what's actually going on? Why am I being triggered by this? What am I telling myself? What are the feelings that are coming up that I don't want to feel? I is tip for intervention. Okay, what would I rather be doing instead? Or rather be feeling instead. And then S is for changing state. If you're inside, go outside. If you are, if you're in the kitchen, go to a different part of the house. Go into your bedroom, put some music on and jump up and down. Just break state so you're not being drawn in. Okay, so that's really, really key, because then you have this power, you have this amazing ability to not be kind of drawn in and feel like you're out of control. Instead, you're like, hold on a minute, something's going on here. You might need to remove yourself from the situation. You might need to, take yourself off to your bedroom and journal or tap or, you question yourself what's going on, or meditate, or whatever you can to release the feelings. What you mustn't do is suppress it, okay? That's really, really key. So, and when you do that, you are then able to come to a situation from a place of conscious awareness. You're no longer kind of, part of their kind of craziness. You are then actually able to almost like be an observer and kind of witness what's going on and not be drawn in. So that's really, really important. Another thing to do is obviously to stay very, very present, is to concentrate on your breath, okay? And just concentrate, some deep inhales, some deep exhales, and you can even say to yourself, I breathe in peace, I breathe out stress, or I breathe in, acceptance, I breathe out my anger. just to start calming it all down. So that's a really, really good method to do as well. Again, just take yourself off, physically remove yourself from the situation. The next thing you can do when you are in that place and you are dealing with unconscious negative family members is to remind yourself to stay present and remind yourself it's their experience, it's their projection, it's their stuff that's coming to the surface. It's actually nothing to do with you. It's them feeling less than, it's them feeling not able to cope, it's them feeling they need to judge, somebody else's behaviour or situation. It's actually nothing to do with you. And that's a really powerful place to be. If you can sit in a place of, this is all you and not me, even when your mother-in-law is standing there judging you on, I don't know, how your baby's being weaned or what you've dressed your child in or, your career choices or whatever, it's really powerful to know they are projecting their nonsense onto you. So that's another really, really good tip. Now, I learned a few years ago when I was doing my energy work that a really incredible way for you to really stand in your power in difficult situations is to concentrate all your energy, all your focus right behind your eyes. So when, it's right in front of you and you've got, so-and-so getting cross with this situation or, someone sitting there having a moan or complaint about whatever, to literally, when you're focusing on them, focus all your energy behind your eyes. And that really helps you to stay present and almost like a little bit removed from what's going on. So that's a really, really good technique. And also, when you do that, people are really aware that you're doing it. Suddenly you're kind of locked in, but you're not, drawn into unconscious thought processes. Instead, you're actually concentrating your energy there. That's where your thoughts are going. That's where your attention is going. So that's another good, a really good tip. Okay, and you remove yourself. Just get out of their space. Like I say, go to the loo, go to your room. Just remove yourself. You don't have to be at the mercy of other people's nonsense. And lastly, let's be honest, if you do lose your cool, if you really do, start getting, angry or you're getting upset or you're reactive, forgive yourself, okay? This is how we've been taught to live. We don't know any different. And this process of becoming self-aware, not getting drawn into other people's situations, it's a practice, it's a discipline. And I always say in this work, it's 2 steps forward, 4 steps back, and then it might be a few more steps forward and 8 steps back. But before you know it, you are getting triggered less. You are being very present with family members. You're being conscious. You're making choices that feel good to you. And before you know it, you are no longer feeling like a victim and, at the mercy of others. And instead, you are absolutely standing in your power. And this is where having boundaries with people is really, really important. And just energetically, if you can just kind of imagine like a little, like a force field around you when situations and, chaos is going on around you, that's when you can absolutely keep your head whilst everyone is losing yours. Just sort of imagine this sort of golden sort of bubble around you that's protecting you and that no one can, no one actually can get in there. And that's a beautiful place to be whilst everyone is just doing their thing. Whether, it could be even a boss at work or whatever. And actually you can get to a place as you realise when you realise it's all their stuff, of compassion, of forgiveness, of acceptance. And amongst all this, there is pure gratitude for knowing this, gratitude for understanding how life really works, and gratitude that you love yourself and you protect your vibes so much that you're no longer going to be a slave to your ego, to your subconscious, which is just there to keep you safe, and instead you're going to really honour who you are and live straight from the heartstrings of your heart. So I hope you found that useful. I certainly practice this frequently. I have teenagers, I have a husband, I have a mother-in-law, and so it's just a beautiful place to be when you've got these skills. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks. Bye for now. Bye.